Hey guys, welcome to the Diamond District. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of loving yourself, giving yourself grace, giving yourself enough time to grow and to change. You know, one of the hardest things that you'll realize in the process of, making something of yourself is the internal struggle. Like most of the stuff externally speaking, like the things that you have to do, that's actually the easy part. Let me tell you why it's the easy part. There's nothing that you can't figure out, truly, if you allow yourself to keep hacking away at the problem. You know, persistence wears down any issue. So it's not really the external problems that put people in terrible positions. It's the internal stuff. It's the internal dialogue. It's how you see yourself. It's your ability to manage your emotions. It's a lot of different things, honestly. So in order for you to really start to progress, you really have to start addressing a lot of the internal stuff. You have to start addressing your demons, right? And what do I mean by demons? Everybody loves to kind of say that phrase. Demons comes in various forms. You know, it could be in the form of a past trauma. It could be in the form of negative beliefs. But whatever form it takes for you, you're going to have to deal with it. And the only way for you to deal with it is to face it head on. Do things that are in opposite alignment with those demons or traumas or belief systems. If you believe you're not worthy of something or you believe you can't achieve something, try it anyway. Like really try, and don't stop trying until you see a different kind of result. And that's one of the biggest issues that a lot of people face in the process of trying to change themselves. You know, you come into the situation with the negative self-belief, which is understandable, and you're trying to change it, but you're not sticking around long enough to actually see results. You're not going through the process long enough to see the results that you want to see. You're just not sticking with it. And that's why, a lot of people don't realize this, but any method that you pick, whether it's for business, diet, exercise, whatever method it is, all of it works. It's just you either have to stick with it long enough or come to an understanding of how that system works and apply it, which again, you would only get there by doing it for a long enough period of time. A lot of people don't realize that because all they're thinking is they're the problem and they're the reason why they're not succeeding. And the truth is, yeah, you are. Other people may more so see it as that particular system just doesn't work. It doesn't work for you because either you haven't allowed it to work or it just doesn't really align with how you go about engaging with things. And that's okay. But most cases, people are not able to enjoy the fruits of their labor because they're not consistently trying. They're not consistently showing up. They're not being consistent. What they are consistently doing is seeing themselves in a negative light, and their actions more so repeat the needed feedback to reinforce those self-beliefs, images, and internal doctrines. Your biggest fight is going to be internal, always. You know, I saw this quote where it said, discipline is essentially reaching to the point where you really know yourself and your internal world is clear. And I don't believe that at all. Discipline is essentially a system or tool or reaction within yourself that is always going to make you do what you need to do regardless of what the fuck is going on. Because I don't know about you, but my internal world, even at this point, is not clear. It's not clear at all. There's times where it is clear. I have a clear feeling of what I want to do, and I'm hopeful and I'm positive. But most times it's not that at all. Most times it's negative. Most times it's discouraging. Most times it's self-defeating. Even in that period, though, I'm still doing this. I'm still recording videos. I'm still making beats. I'm still working out. I'm still trying to build my business. I'm still in architecture school. I'm still doing all of these things regardless of how I feel, because I understand that how I feel is not always indicative of the truth. And whether or not it is, the truth, or better yet, in this case, your reality can be changed. So it doesn't matter how you feel about yourself today. It doesn't matter how you felt about yourself in the past. What really matters is, what are you going to do about it? And no matter how you feel, what you have to focus on is the doing part. What are you going to do? And that is one of the best ways to combat your internal issues. You're going to face them head on, you're going to acknowledge it, and then you're going to go out into this world and face the physical manifestations of those internal problems. You don't believe that anybody would find you worthy or attractive? You go out there and you talk to women. Or you talk to men if you're attracted to men. If you feel like you're not smart enough, go put yourself in some type of math class or some shit that would challenge your intellect. Or take up a course that you think is kind of above and beyond. I'm honestly going through that right now. Like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to do a very, very light workout. And for the next 2 days, I'm just going to lock in so I can complete this homework assignment that we were given 2 weeks to do, but I put it on the back burner for so many various reasons. But regardless of how I feel, because I feel incredibly apprehensive, like, damn, I may not really understand this, I may not do this, I am still going to try. And I'm not going to stop until it's done, and I'm going to turn it in. Period. It just doesn't matter, regardless of the grade. What's happening is, I'm telling myself that I can do these things, even though my internal belief about situations like this all my life has been, I can't, because I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not clever enough, I'm not as talented. All of those things honestly do not matter. What matters is, okay, I'm not this, I'm not that, but I'm gonna try to do this anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. Never look at the things you can't do as like finite. Never ever look at the things you can't do as finite, because it's not true. Like, you can't do it right now. That's the full statement. You understand? You can't do it right now, but you can figure it out. And that is the blessing of being a human being with intelligence, or just a mind, some type of consciousness. Like, understand, if you can't do something, you can learn how. If you can't figure it out today, you can figure it out tomorrow. The whole point is to keep applying yourself, to keep trying, to keep showing up, to just keep fucking going at it. And that is really like the greatest advice anybody can ever give you. Like, keep shooting. Don't stop. You're always going to find a reason to stop. You're always going to find a reason to stop doing what you're trying to do. You're always going to find a reason. But this is the importance of discipline, because it doesn't matter what the reason is. If this is what you've committed to doing, just keep doing that. Nothing is more important than this. Literally. You are going to have so many internal battles about the things that you're supposed to do, but you will reach a point where those battles are meaningless. They mean nothing, because they are not going to be dictating your action, and you have to get to that point. And it's going to be hard at first, but after that, it's going to be fucking automatic. It's going to be automatic. And you just have to at first get to that point where it's automatic. And once you get to that point, understand that you've now become a totally different person. The person that I was when I started making these videos is totally different from the person I am now. More so because I have gone through the process of saying, like, I literally cannot go to sleep without doing something like this. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of how my day is going, regardless of anything in this world, I have to do what I said I'm going to do. And am I discouraged by the things that I have going on in my life? Yes, mad discouraged sometimes. But again, and I'm going to say this again and again and again and again until you get it, or even I get it, because sometimes it may even slip my mind. Your feelings do not matter as much as your actions will, because this world is predicated on results. What have you done? What are you doing? If you have a problem, what are you going to do about it? Always think like that. I don't like this about myself. Great. What are you going to do about it? Externally, physically, like what are you going to do to attack this problem? Because if you don't, all you're doing is setting yourself up to complain and make absolutely no progression. And I assure you, as someone who's went through that as well, it's a complete waste of your time. So instead of wasting your time, focus on what are my problems? What are my traumas? What are my demons? Put a name on them. And think of what are these things preventing me from doing? And then go out there and do it. And watch all of that shit disappear. Believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, do it anyway.